Hi. Some people are good communicators, but not great communicators. So how do we go from good to great? Well, I'm going to share an example that illustrates this. Steve was a manager with a gossip problem. And so he called in everybody in his department and he said, "We have a gossip problem and I intend for it to stop right now." He went on to talk about all the costs and how destructive gossip was. And then he said, "We know who's doing it, but you get a clean slate starting now. However, anybody caught gossiping will be dismissed. And if anybody tries to engage in gossip with you, tell them you don't want to do it because you value your job." Steve's decisive action worked. The gossip stopped. So that is a good success story. But let me tell you a great one. You see, the dynamics of communication have changed. And the top-down authoritarian daddy's home or mommy's home and everybody's in trouble, well, that just doesn't work anymore. Now what we have is more of an egalitarian, collaborative, participatory, syncretic, and synergetic communication environment. So here's how Steve could handle it now. Just a little tweak that makes all the difference. Steve gathers everyone together and says, "We have a gossip problem, and we need to figure out how we want to solve it." Bingo! Immediately everybody takes ownership. Then, instead of lecturing everyone on how destructive gossip is, what he does is he invites everyone to share some of their experiences with gossip and how destructive and hurtful it can be or what kind of effects it has on a work environment. Then he can facilitate a discussion on what kind of communication culture do we want to create? How do we want to be with each other? How do we want to interact? What kind of standards and agreements do we want to have? Then facilitate a discussion on, okay, so how are we going to get there? What kind of policies will we use that will take us there? And that would include a discussion of just what is and isn't gossip, because we don't want people looking over their shoulders thinking that if they're addressing issues, they're going to be accused of gossip. And then they do a follow-up. You see, that's the difference between good, successful communication and great, successful communication in a new, dynamic world. I'll be offering a free webinar on how to handle gossip and manipulation in the workplace, but also how to transform a contentious work environment into a more collaborative one. And I'll be giving very concrete phrases and tips and tools of how to go about it. So it's July 27th, and if you go to perfectphrases.com, you can register for free. See you then.